Morning. I think the last time I spoke before this group was in the 1990s when we were trying to save General Hospital.
Oh,
Probably General Hospital has been closed more than a lot of you have been in the county. But it was the only public medical facility, and this was a time of all for-profit hospitals in the county. Of course, things have shifted at this point. We now have two religious-based systems running our hospital system. Anyway, what I'm here to talk about, what I was asked to talk about, is what we're going to do now with all these threats of massive deportation and a lot of anti-immigrant rhetoric, both nationally and throughout the state. So I think, firstly, we really have to understand who are immigrants in this county. We were just able to release last month a large report on looking at really the demographics of the immigrants. And I want to thank the funders of that report, most of whom are in this room. It was the County Board of Supervisors, the Community Foundation, First Five Commission, the Diversity Coalition. So, this is really, so we understand who are we talking about. We say all those immigrants. Well, immigrants comprise about 10% of our county, about 26,000 people. Half of them are citizens. Most are documented. Yes, we have a number of undocumented residents in the county, all of whom are working, probably, because they're not entitled to any of the social service benefits. Among the immigrants in the county, more than 80% have been here more than 15 years. So this is a long-term, settled-out population. And let's face it, we're all immigrants. Unless you're a member of one of the indigenous nations who occupied this land before we came, we're all immigrants here. So, there's just been a series of streams over many years. And what we're seeing now is sort of the latest. And what we'll see next year, I don't know. So the immigrants that work mostly what I'm going to talk about is those who are the non-citizen, probably newer immigrants, when we say immigrant workers, concentrated in three industries which are essential to our county economy. It's agriculture, it's business, and it's hospitality. No surprise to any of you. So 92% of farm workers are immigrants, nearly all from Mexico. 54% of cooks in restaurants and other facilities are Latino immigrants. Construction laborers, 54%. So you see, when we start talking about massive deportations, what we're really talking about is affecting the basic economy in the county. And I should also add, since Wendy's here, child care workers are also a large component. Immigrant child care workers comprise about 30% of the workforce. So what I was asked to talk about today is, what do you do if ICE comes to your business? How do you handle this? And hopefully, what we're going to talk about is more like CPR training. Good to have, hope you don't have to use it. So the first thing is, when you think about ICE coming to your business, is this just a routine? It could be an I-9 audit. It could be that they actually have a warrant for a specific person, or they're conducting legitimate enforcement activities. And then there are those, sort of raids, when they go into farm fields and sort of want to round people up. And this is what happened in Bakersfield last month. And what do? So one thing, background on this is know who your workers are. Get to know them. On the other hand, don't keep a lot of records. Don't keep things, this applies to social service agencies a lot, is they may be undocumented, but you don't have to put that in your records, so don't. You should have policies and a response plan in advance. You should have a designated compliance person, because when ICE shows up, what you really want is to exercise your constitutional rights, and that's, do they have a warrant? Are they allowed to come into your private spaces? They can come into public spaces, but the Constitution protects you in private spaces. So you really want to have a judicial warrant. I see my time is running out. So the last thing I was going to say is call your lawyer. And you should do that in advance. So I just want to say we look forward to ongoing discussions with the entire community. We have large coalitions forming over supporting the immigrant population.